Si Prof. Willie Perez nag-text. Tatanda daw niya yung pagtalo ni Dante Barona sa San Juanico Bridge. 1981. Okay. Yeah, 1981. Ang pangalan ng pelikula, no? Hari ng Stunt. Meron na ospital si Dante Barona doon pagkatapos siyang tumalon doon. Okay, teka muna. Tatanong natin yan. At saka kung ano po ang kalagayan ng San Juanico Bridge ngayon kay Lord Byron Torrecacion, Chief Office of Civil Defense, Eastern Visayas. Mr. Torrecacion, magandang umaga po. Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me in your program.
Opo. At kami po'y makikibalita. Naka-blue alert daw po ang San Juanico Bridge dahil doon sa restriction sa bigat ng mga kargamento o kaya yung mga sasakyan na dumadaan po dyan. Ano pong ibig sabihin po noon, Mr. Torrecacion?
Simply put, sir, yung blue alert status po will enable us in government to utilize yung mga resources natin and to put on standby yung mga resources for response sa San Juanico Bridge. So currently po, sir, yung restriction natin is a 3-meter height limit. At the same time, 3 tons gross weight po for the bridge. And meron po tayong ini-implement na interval between sasakyan na magkocross ng bridge po.
Hindi po pwedeng... ilan nga pong lane po yung San Juanico Bridge, Mr. Torrecacion?
2 lane po yung San Juanico, sir.
Opo. Dalawa sa kabila. Ganun po yun?
Hindi po. 2 lanes lang po.
2 lanes lang po. Okay. So ngayon po, ang gusto naming malaman, nagdudulot ba ito ngayon ng problema po? Kasi alam naman natin, pangunahing daanan po yan eh. Meron ho ba mga nai-stranded habang limitado po yung pagdaan dyan ng mga sasakyan?
Well, initially po, sir, nung nag-issue ng closure yung DPWH, we can't deny po na meron po talagang mga na-stranded. But since over the weekend po, we've been trying to establish yung medyo smooth na pag-passage ng mga sasakyan. So right now, only light vehicles are allowed to use the bridge. Yun nga, sir, within the 3-ton limit and 3-meter height. At the same time, we have established yung libreng sakay to shuttle yung mga passengers from, let's say, Summerside going to Leyte side and vice versa. We have also established temporary terminals, and we will be doing the constructions ng mga mega tents on both sides so that meron po tayong safe place and comfortable place for the passengers to wait while they're waiting for the shuttle service to cross the bridge. And lahat po ng government agencies nag-establish naman po ng one-stop shop doon po sa mga terminal na yon. DSWD is giving out food packs to the stranded truckers kasi they could not use the bridge. And then yung DICT po natin, naglagay naman ng mga internet connections on both sides of the bridge also. And cameras to monitor. No? So meron din po tayong naka-assign ng mga security personnel on both sides of the bridge to enforce yung weight and height limit restrictions po natin.
Opo, yun. Okay. So apparently, ang mga pinapayagan lang light vehicles, pero yung mga nagdadala ng mga kargamento, ng mga truck, hindi po pwede, Mr. Torrecacion.
Yes, sir, because they're over the limit. As long as they're within the limit na 3 tons, yung mga small na 4-wheel vehicles or even 6 wheels, basta within 3-ton gross limit, pwede po silang mag-cross ng bridge.
Pero ba silang, kasi ang balita namin, tumutulong din ang Philippine Ports Authority. Yun talagang hindi po makakatawid dyan dahil kitang-kita naman na sobrang bibigat. Pwede daw pong dumaan sa mga port, Mr. Torrecacion?
Tama po yan, sir. No? Nung Saturday, nag-establish po tayo ng 2 task group. Yung isa po is yung Safety and Security Task Group, which dyan nabilong yung OCD po, which ensures yung safe passage ng mga passengers po natin and redirect yung mga cargo. The other one is yung sa Transport and Infra Group, which is led by DPWH, Marina, and PPA. nag-i-establish po tayo ng alternative routes to and from Tacloban to Samar, from Leyte side to Samar. So nag-start na po, no, meron na pong LCT na nagbiyahe from if I'm not mistaken from shipping company from Tacloban going to Samar side.
Opo.
And we're establishing din po multiple routes. Like for example, meron din po tayong Ormoc to Catbalogan, Ormoc to Calbayog
Opo.
na sea routes, utilizing yung mga Ro-Ro vessels natin from Ormoc. So as to also to decongest the bridge and to ensure that yung supply po will be unhampered.
Ayun, okay. Balita namin, pati Batangas Port yata gagamitin na rin po na alternate na daungan papunta riyan. Ano po, Mr. Toricarion?
Yes sir, no, we're exploring yung alternate routes na will not pass through Samar. So that will be utilizing I think Batangas, Mindoro, Cebu going down to Mindanao.
Ngayon ang tanong namin, dahil ganyan, baka naman ho may epekto ito sa presyo. Siyempre mapapalayo at gagamit pa ng barko pa Mr. Toricarion.
Yes, sir.
Sa presyo
Yes,
ng
sir.
mga goods natin dyan sa Visayas.
Yes, sir. Actually, that's also one of the main concern, considering that Eastern Visayas has experienced a record-breaking year in terms of growth, and we want to protect that as well as yung prices, no, na hindi tatamaan yung mga kababayan natin. So, meron po tayong economic cluster led by NEDA, DA, DTI, that's closely monitoring yung mga prices ng commodities natin, including DOE for the fuel.
Opo.
So, we're also studying the possibility na yung mga essential food items natin, especially yung mga bigas, yung mga perishables like meats, we're also studying the possibility na we could tap some funds to subsidize those products, essential products, as identified by the Department of Agriculture, as to ensure na yung prices will not be affected.
Opo. Yung bang structure, yung San Juanico Bridge, visible na po ba kung ano yung problema dyan, Mr. Toricarion? Nakikita ba natin? Kasi yun sinasabi, humihina daw po ang pundasyon, parang buwababa yata. Ano po ba talaga ang totoong sitwasyon?
Yes, sir. Last 2022, nag-request po yung DPWH na i-dive po yan ng Office of Civil Defense.
Opo.
Yung initial natin na dive doon, yung mga piers, let's say for example, sir, yung concrete piers sa baba,
Oo.
is yung hugis niya is square. Hindi na po yan fully squared kasi may kinain na yung yung current. But yung current study talaga ng DPWH, which led to the closure of the bridge, is based on the recent study this year lang po. I think it was done last month. Yung concrete strength ng bridge natin is down to 35% of its original strength.
Ako po.
So, yun na lang po yung natitirang concrete strength. And then they've also noticed na ilang span ng bridge hindi na po talaga sustainable yung weight. At the same time, meron din silang identified yung mga piers, which is yung mga column structure that's supporting the bridge, that also needs to be repaired.
Gano'ng katagal naman po yung repair niyan, Mr. Toricarion?
Currently, sir, there are two options. One is for the partial closure, which we are doing right now, no, that light vehicles could still pass. If that is the option, tatagal po yan, sir, ng mga more than years.
Ilan po?
And then there's
ilan taon
more
po?
than 2 years.
More than 2 years.
2 taon po.
Opo. Kung total closure?
Pag total closure, a little over a year.
So alin ang mas maganda po? Kasi yun ang ginagawa nyo ngayon partial closure.
Yes, sir. We're doing the partial closure. If full closure po natin, then it will, of course, we should have in place already yung mga alternative means of crossing, and dapat ma-perfect na natin para hindi po maging sagabal sa mga kailangan tumawid from Leyte to Samar. But as to the decision po, sir, it's still being studied kung anong best solution. And I think this afternoon, right after mga lunchtime, mayroon pong Regional Development Council meeting which would propose the recommendation po to national kung ano po yung magandang gagamitin po.
Opo, sige po. Mr. Toricarion, yun lang po muna. Sa mga darating na araw, kami po yung muli makipag-ugnayan sa inyo. Magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Thank you, sir, and good morning.
Opo, good morning. Lord Byron Toricarion, Chief Office of Civil Defense, Eastern Visayas. Ang oras, alas 6:46 na po ng umaga.